Welcome to e-Semplice Hub, where music theory is simplified. This is a grade 1 question on tones and semitones. Question 1 says, write a note, a semitone higher than the given note. I'm highlighting a semitone higher. That's what you are expected to do. So, in doing this, what you need is the keyboard so that you'll be able to see your pitches, your tones, your semitones clearly. So the first thing you do is sketch the keyboard. That's the resource you need. So I'm sketching it here. So you have the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Let's stop there. Then you put your black keys as usual, because you might be needing them. Always remember, no black key between E and F, no black key between B and C. If you sketch your own keyboard and there's a black key between E and F, it is wrong. If there's a black key between B and C, it is wrong. Practice sketching the keyboard correctly. Now let's look at our question 1. What you need to do. Remember, at this grade, there's always the tendency that you lose sight of your clef. Never you forget the clef, because if you forget the clef, you'll be reading your note wrongly. Now, this is treble clef, and our note here is F. F. Now, come to the keyboard and mark F. This is the note you are given. Pitches on the keyboard increase this way and decrease this way. If this is F and you are looking for a semitone higher, the next key to F is actually a semitone higher. And now, what is the next key to F? It is a black key. If you have studied your keyboard well, or if your instructor has taught you keyboard, you will know that this black key has two names. You either call it F sharp or G flat. F sharp or G flat. If you write F sharp, it is correct. If you write G flat, it is also correct. All you are looking for is a semitone higher than F, and that is this black key. So for me, I choose to write F sharp. So I'll be writing F sharp. So you put a note on F and you put a sharp on it. So F sharp is a semitone higher than F. We move to the next question. Now the clef has changed. Now let's take this away to avoid confusion. This is bass clef, and your note here is B, letter B. Come here and mark letter B. We are looking for a semitone higher. A semitone higher than B is actually the next key, which is C. This is a semitone higher than B. So come to the stave and put a note on C. This is the answer. Next question. The clef is treble clef, and the note is E. Mark E. The next semitone after E, this way, is F. Now, you can choose to do E sharp, because E sharp is also F, and you can choose to do F. So you have two answers here. Either you write F or you write E sharp. I choose to write letter F. So I just come here and put a note on F. We move to the next question. Bass clef, and the note is letter E. Letter E. Now I'm marking E on the keyboard The next semitone after E is E sharp or F, just like the previous question. So at this point, I choose to write E sharp for a change. So I'll choose to write E sharp because E sharp is a semitone higher than E. Now I take that out. Next question, treble clef. The note is A. Mark A here. The next semitone after A is actually a black key. And this key is A sharp or B flat. A sharp or B flat. So any of these you write is correct. At this point, I choose to write B flat. Now I'll put a note on B and put a flat accidental by it. So that's A. I wrote B flat. I take that away. Now the next question is bass clef, and that note there is letter D. I mark this D. The next semitone to D is D sharp or E flat. D sharp or E flat. I choose to write E flat. So I put a note on E and put a flat. Now let's take that. The last question in number 1 is treble clef. The note is letter D. Now we mark D again here. The same thing that happened in the previous question. So the next semitone is D sharp or E flat. D sharp or E flat. Since I wrote E flat in the last one, I prefer to write D sharp. So I'll put a note on D and sharpen it. So we come to the end of question 1. Now let's try 2. Number 2 says, write a note, a tone lower. A tone lower. I'm highlighting a tone lower so that you don't forget. Because at your grade, some of you, because this first question is a semitone higher, some of you usually continue a semitone higher into the next question. That's why I'm highlighting a tone higher. You are no longer working with a semitone, but you are working with a tone. And 2 semitones make a tone. If you count 2 semitones on the keyboard, that makes a tone. So at this point, you'll be counting 2 semitones to arrive at your answer. Now let's go to the question. I usually say at your grade, the clef is very, very important. This is bass clef, and the note is D. Let me take this off. The note here is D, so you mark D. Now let's look. We are going lower. You know, lower is this side. You'll be counting to the left. Let me put this arrow. Lower. You are giving D here. Look at how I'm going to count 2 semitones backward, because backward 2 semitones will give me a tone. So from D to D flat is a semitone. D flat to C is a tone. So the answer I'm looking for is actually C, because C is a tone lower than D. So I come to the stave and put a note on C. I hope you know the letter names of your bass and treble clef very well, because you might know the answer, but when you want to write on the stave, you should know where you are putting your notes. Now, this is C. Our answer was C. So I take that off as we attempt the next question. The next question is treble clef, and we are given F sharp. F sharp. So I come to the keyboard and mark F sharp. Now this is F sharp. It's a black key. And I'm to do a tone lower. From F sharp to F is 1 semitone. F to E is another semitone. So that makes two semitones, which is a tone. So I go again from F sharp to F is a semitone. F to E, another semitone. That makes a tone. So our answer is E. Now watch out. This is E on the treble clef. Now we proceed. The next question is on bass clef, and the note is E. Mark E and count two semitones backwards. E to E flat, one semitone. E flat to D, the two of them will make a tone. So our answer here is letter D. So come and indicate D. Next question now. Still on bass clef, the note given is letter C. Mark any of the C's. I mark this. Now, marking that, let's count two semitones backward. C to B, one semitone, B to B flat, two semitones. So this is a tone. C to B, B to B flat. So this is our answer. Now, you have two answers there. If you write A sharp, it is correct. If you write B flat, it is also correct. So I would like to write B flat. So I put a note on B and add a flat to the note. Now we proceed. Take that off to avoid confusion. The next question is on treble clef. The note given is B. I mark B here. Two semitones backwards. So I have B to B flat to A. So our answer to that question is A. So just come there and put a note on A. Next question is still on treble clef. The note given is D. Mark D, any D. Let's mark this D here. Let's mark this D. The note is D, two semitones backwards. You have D to D flat to C. So our answer is C. So put a note on C. This is C on treble clef. Now the last, very last question is on bass clef, and we are given letter F. So I mark this F, and let's count two semitones backwards. So if you write E flat, it's correct. If you write D sharp, it is also correct. I would like to write E flat. So I look for E there and put a flat on E. So that is how to answer questions on tones and semitones. You definitely need the keyboard so that you can see your tones and semitones clearly. Do not attempt to answer this type of question without first sketching the keyboard. The keyboard will help you to see your answers correctly. That's just how to solve tones and semitones question. If you are even asked, a question could come that you write a note a semitone lower. Another question could come that you write a note a tone higher. So it could come any other way, but that's the format and that is the method to tackle a question like this in your exam. Like I used to say, if you use your keyboard to answer tones and semitones question, you'll definitely end up having 10-10 in the exams.